Assalamu alaikum, family, peace, and healing. And we are back for another episode of Healing with Angelica's podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And if you are new to the show, welcome, beautiful souls. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest joining me today, my sister Maryam Warith Muhammad, as we will be discussing today's topic, the vow to chastity.
Yeah.
Sister Maryam, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, beautiful. I am doing well by Allah's grace. Very excited, very thankful, very humbled indeed to be with my sister. Um, Thankful that we had the opportunity to reschedule. So
Yes. I know. I'm so glad
praise
that we
Allah.
were able to connect because this was a topic that I definitely wanted to definitely touch on and knew that you were going to be the best at talking at this. So, yes, ma'am. I'll praise you to Allah. Now, before we get started on today's topic, the vow to chastity, do you mind letting our audience know just a little bit more about you?
Yes, ma'am. So, yes, my name is Maryam Alima Warith Muhammad. I am second generation born in the Nation of Islam, with my daughter, inshallah, being the third generation. I wrote my letter 2019 by Allah's grace, and am a striving Muslim. I'm an actress, singer, thespian. That's the same as an actress, we know. All around performer, um, lover of truth, and strive to deliver truth and live a truthful life at all times. So that's a little bit about me. Mom
Yes,
of one,
yes.
yes, mommy of one. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. All praise be to Allah. Thank you for that, beloved. Now, let's get started on today's topic, the vow to chastity.
Let's just say before you started,
What?
because how
What?
the topic came about
Well, yeah.
from just that brief little conversation. Remember? Because that wasn't the topic at first. Like, remember you were saying that, like, let's just chat for a second, and then that came up. You
Yeah.
remember the car ride? I was driving.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we got together and talked about it over the
Yeah,
phone.
and so when I saw it on the flyer, I was like, "Oh snap!" I walked myself right into this topic. So
Well, yeah,
there was
because it
no,
was I mean, it's a topic that needs to be talked about.
it does need to be spoken about more in depth, and I'm grateful that Allah guided you to that, like, specifically as that being the title.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would have been like, "Hey, yeah," like, but when I saw it, I said, that be you working. Okay, Allah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because it's kind of how can I say this? We don't really talk about it. I think, it might feel a little shameful, I want to say. I don't know how to say it, like not embarrassing, or I don't know how to explain it, but some women just don't want to talk about it, especially if they have already been down that road of
Mhm.
actually not even practicing chastity before actually practicing chastity. So it's like, oh, what you got to say? So,
Taboo.
yeah.
You say it is taboo. Not
Yes.
because we talk about. So yes, ma'am.
So, we're going to get to today's topic, the vows of chastity. So, for anyone who does not know what chastity is the state or practice of refraining from extramarital or especially from all sexual intercourse, in which can also be referred to as celibacy or abstinence. Now, from my own personal experience and research, I have found that chastity before marriage offer many benefits, including spiritual purification, a decreased chance of psychological damage.
Mhm.
I think that's a lot.
Mhm.
Psychological damage from expressing intimacy without commitment, freedom from sexual transmitted disease, STDs, and unwanted pregnancies, and also an increase in marital stability and satisfaction. As celibacy is not one of the hottest trends, Now, in today's society, we want to bring awareness of the amazing life changing experience of being chaste.
Yay!
Yeah.
We should be excited about it. Actually, yeah, I'm crazy to a lot.
I am too. It feels good, like honestly.
It
So,
does.
now now we're getting deep into it now.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
my first question for you, Miss Maryam, could you please share to us your journey with becoming chaste?
Let's see, how will we go about this? First, I want to say there was, I believe it was after I had Alima. Either it was before, because I
Mhm.
had Alima in college.
Okay.
It was, it was sophomore year. Wait, I had 2000. No, I had a junior year. Sorry, I'm trying to do the math. I had a junior year, so either it was the year before I had her or it was the year after I had her. But regardless, I remember sitting in class in
Mhm.
college, and I don't remember what class it was, but the topic of premarital sex came up. And a beautiful, I can vaguely remember her face, but I remember she had dreads. She was a very earthly sister, and she was talking about being chaste and not fornicating it until she was married, like waiting. She said, "I'm waiting until marriage," and I just looked at her in awe, like somewhat in um, befuddlement of like,
Mhm.
why?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? And like, yeah, honestly, and I was like, that is so different, so strange. I was like, I don't think I have no desire. And so, by Allah's grace, when He in 2018, it was the summer of 2018, my soul felt dirty, to say the least,
Mm.
in taking action in fornication. And I had a friend at the time, and I had to call that friend and said, "Hey, friend, we can't be those kind of friends anymore
Yeah.
because my soul isn't right. Like something's going on with my soul, and
Mhm.
it's just not working." And friend was like, "Okay, that's cool. We still cool. You still my friend. I'ma still be there for you, support, like whatever you need. We
Mhm.
friends." And I was
Yeah.
like, "That's what's up. You are a friend." Praise Allah. Because I don't know what it was. I hadn't necessarily decided to re-enter the mosque. It
Yeah.
wasn't until the fall of 2018 that
Mhm.
I wrote down and was like, "Hey Allah, still there's something going on with me and I need you." So
Yes.
it was just Allah guiding me. It wasn't necessarily me desiring to be chaste for marriage.
Mhm.
That wasn't my thought process. It's just my soul. Like it was a lot shifting everything within me. So I can't take any credit because it wasn't a
Yeah.
conscious thought.
Yeah.
It wasn't me saying, fornication before marriage is really unrighteous. I
Yeah.
don't want to be unrighteous anymore. I'm just going to stop doing that. That wasn't it. But it was my soul. Like my
Yeah.
spirit was bothered. And
Mhm.
so that was the first vice. Yeah, because it can be a vice. So that was the first vice that Allah was pulling on me to clean me up.
Yeah.
I will speak on pornography. So, as someone that was introduced to pornography at a very, very young age, probably like 4 or 5,
Oh
probably
wow.
5, yeah,
Mhm.
that within Allah taking the desire for fornication away, I still battled with having a pornography addiction. It was very, very bad, and I think it became progressively worse within me stopping fornicating.
Mhm.
I still battled with that, and I said, "Oh, my mind, my
Yeah.
mind isn't right. That something is off." And so I was speaking to one of my cousins about it and what she did to help her to stop fornicating. And she said, "Write a sincere letter to Allah, detailing everything that you want. and put it underneath your bed. And so since it wasn't about the fornication, it was about the pornography, I did exactly that. Like it was
Yeah.
bad. I was scheduling my day around it. It was,
Mm.
yeah. And it's what's so sad is that we know that it's something that's detrimental to children, that they're putting it in Disney and everything like that, over sexualizing everything. But I don't
Exactly.
believe that adults really understand the severity that it has on their mental. And
Yeah.
I could see that it was taking over my life. So by Allah's grace, I did that. I wrote that prayer, put it underneath my bed, and since like 2018, everything has just been peachy keen.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Praise be to Allah. And I just want to give you so much gratitude just for even being um genuine enough to just and real, authentic to even talk about this because like I said, this is not something that um people are bold enough to even talk about. But this will, I believe, this will definitely help someone that is, fighting those urges or those addictions. So yes, praise be to Allah, beloved. Oh my gosh.
Inshallah.
I mean, I can say just with me, like, I wasn't born in a nation. So I jumped off the porch a little early now. I was like, I mean, I seen a lot when I was
Yes,
young,
ma'am.
like just from seeing my parents and they smoking and drinking and being around just the environment, toxic environment, sex, drugs, and just seeing all that. Like, eventually I got into that. And honestly, when I um, started in having intercourse, I believe that it made me feel like I don't know. It made me feel like if I was to do it, this is how I could get love. Like it was a point in time where I
Yes.
felt like I didn't. I felt like okay, um, this guy's not gonna like me, or he's not gonna give me what I want if I don't do it. Like, or it felt like it's kind of felt like I was forced, kind of like a scarcity around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to explain. But if anyone had that feeling of just feeling like, and I believe most some women do, like, like we believe that in order for us to get what we want from a man, we need to have sex with them or, whatever the case may be. And in my mind, and then what I seen, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, like, I noticed as I was getting older just how me doing that, it plays so much on my mind and my mental. Like, I would get myself in these relationships with men and it would not last. But what would last would be the heartbreak. Like, why did he break up with me? No, this is not happening. They talking about women are crazy. No, you don't do this to a woman. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
So as I continue, to grow into myself and then actually getting pregnant, having my child, my beautiful boy Mir. Um and in that period and moment, that's when I was introduced to Islam and just learning Islam and having an understanding of the woman in general and why the woman is so valuable and why we as women shouldn't indulge in fornication. Not just women, men as well, but the reason why women shouldn't do it. And you said you had said something like, you said your soul felt dirty. I said I'm not gonna lie, like when I got more into the teachings and just into a lot, God, I like, and then after having my son, I was like, I feel like I would be a hypocrite to, I'm learning all this, but what I look like, keep doing this to myself. Like,
Right.
I'm like, okay, so I made a decision, even though I'm like, let's be real, like, I mean, you know, everyone likes pleasure, but
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, what's more important, God or
Substance.
that?
Indeed.
And I felt like my love for Allah grows so much that no, I'm cool. Like, I'm good, I'm fine, you know, and especially just the experience that I went through with having my son and just not having that foundation established before getting pregnant, and then not having that emotional support, just seeing the effects of what happens when you don't commit before having sex. So that really played a part, as well as in why I made the decision I made as well to start being chaste. And honestly, I feel more powerful in a way. Like, you can't touch me, you know?
So I'm so glad you said that because you said three things, and that
Yeah.
last one actually ties into one of the first things that you said. One thing you said, not so much as men, but men can't fornicate without women. So it's everybody. There is no
Yeah.
fornication because they are adulterers, you
Yes.
know. Mm. But you said that you felt that it was that was the only way, that like that was the norm, that was the thing to do. That's the only way that he's going to be with me. Ironically,
Yeah.
that was not my thought process.
Okay.
Um, I actually, I'm gonna get too crazy, but I actually felt more power without it. And so, like, I
Mm.
wanted to say that on the strength of you're going to have women that aren't fornicating, but are still using their sexuality to get what
Mm.
they
Yeah.
want. So chastity isn't only about not, so it goes into modesty. And
Yes, there
me
you go.
learning how to tone down that other part of Maryam, that's to be saved for her,
Yes.
was something that I didn't realize how, because I don't want to say it was natural, but how secondhand it was becoming,
Mhm.
using our feminine woos and, like,
Yes.
so
Mhm.
that part, I wanted to touch on that because you said you feel more powerful now that you don't. Indeed, now having self value and realizing I don't have to use sexuality, but my femininity is what's going to draw them. Like, they're drawn regardless.
Yes.
They will be drawn, but like being attracted to the Allah in me and the feminine
Mm.
part of Allah, I still be like, whoa, don't look at me. I'm a woman of God. So it is, it's so powerful. I almost want to say, so I had this dream. I had this dream. I was at a Walmart and I was covered, draped,
Mm.
and this man came and whispered nastiness in my ear. When I say I don't know what the dream was like, what the meaning of the dream was, but all I know is
Mhm.
I went on top and was wailing, was like, "Don't you see I'm a woman of God?" I got violent. I did.
Yes. Oh
Don't
my
whisper in my
gosh.
ear. Leave me be. Praise God.
Oh gosh, you are so funny.
All
But
right.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for mentioning that as well, because that also plays a part, because it's like you said, it's not just always actually taking part in the actual fornication, but also using your body, just displaying it as well as
Mm-hmm.
another way of staying to self and staying chaste. So yes, 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 I am definitely there is definitely how can I say this? Definitely with me not being brought up in the nation and me being in that world before, like, it's definitely a big adjustment, because honestly, when you see women out here half naked, doing what they're doing, in this world, they do get all the praise and they get more attention, and you just see more spotlight on them. And with a person that's trying to transition out of that world into being modest and stuff like that, I can say honestly, um, it all depends on where your mindset is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in my mind, I'm like, I done grew this love for Allah, God, so much that it's like it does not bother me.
It's not appealing. it's not appealing
Yeah.
anymore. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
actually, sis, the outfit isn't cute.
Sorry.
You just look naked. I love you because you're my sister, but you're just
Yeah.
naked.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an outfit.
Oh my
That's an outfit. No. And indeed, it is truly, truly just exactly you committed to Allah. You're like, you know what? Allah's pretty much it for me, and I pretty much love him. And he loves me.
Mm.
It just becomes unappealing.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Girl, we were like we were stuck on the first question for about ever,
I
but
really do.
this was amazing anyway. So now I gotta let's go to the next question here, and I think this will be a good one because I did speak on this earlier
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, I think that when it comes to the vow of chastity, one has to really have their mind set established. And my next question is, let's talk about the psychological effects of not being chaste. What was some of the psychological effects you had went through when you were transitioning into chastity?
I wouldn't even say, well, it would have to be positive then,
Hmm.
because all of the harm was done, like was it not being chaste, allowing
Mm.
yourself, giving yourself to someone sexually muddles your mind. It muddles your mind, and then you allow yourself to be abused, misused,
Hmm.
misguided. So as I was no longer participating in that, granted, I don't want to make it seem as if you still can't catch feelings.
Hmm.
You catch feelings, a lot knows, and that has happened to poor little Maryam a couple of times, to where, yeah, you still gotta. That's what I'm practicing now,
Hmm.
making Allah completely sufficient, and knowing that Allah is going to make it so, like, he's basically one of my girlfriends, my sister friend. She's like, if
Yeah.
there's no courtship papers, there's what are we talking about? Indeed,
Mm.
what are we talking about? You
Yes.
can There's relationships, friendships, Muslims. FYNME, we are friends. So alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Therefore, feelings don't have to get muddled.
Hmm.
So I don't want to make it seem like you're not going to grow an affinity for a particular person, but knowing that you have your mindset set on Allah, you won't, for me at the very least, I know I won't cross the line of anything. And actually, those are nightmares. Like, I've had a nightmare to where something happened, outside of marriage, and I was like, oh no, Allah. No. Uh-uh. So what I'm battling with now is, I'm like, Allah, I do not want to have any dreams about
Yeah.
that, about fornication. That's
Yeah.
not it either, because that's
Yeah.
another part of your consciousness, and I don't. That's not a hidden desire, and if it is, brown germ die.
Okay.
We are, the conscious Mariam is completely and totally fine with waiting. I am so
Yes.
cool, like,
Hmm.
and it's only by His grace. Like I said, like everything that fell away, it was Him. I don't feel like it was me making the decision, and that's why I had a little bit of a struggle with looking at certain people battling it, battling smoking, battling drinking, battling covering, and I'm like, dang, why are you, like, how come, why are they struggling in Allah and I'm not struggling? And I had to say, I
Mm.
had to thank Allah for Him giving me that gift. I didn't realize it was a gift. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I don't care about that anymore, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah.
But apparently it's a true gift because people struggle with it. So
Hmm.
mentally, I'm definitely more sound, for sure, but without navigating relationships properly and
Mhm.
mentally giving myself to someone that I should not be, you can still allow yourself to get muddled and fuddled.
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
not healthy for you. So it's like slow down. Allah
Yes.
provides all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Now for any woman that is wanting to take that journey into chastity, what advice would you have for them?
I would tell them to maybe go and sit down alone and really do some retrospect on the relationships that they've had
Mm,
and be honest with themselves and ask, like, they don't necessarily have to ask themselves, but marinate on how that relationship made them feel. That
mm,
sexual relationship. What did they get out of it? What, what pain did they receive in it? And do
mhm.
you want to continue to go down that course?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a relationship without physical contact? And if you haven't, ask yourself why not? Why would you think that it's normal? It's because they say it's the norm. It's not normal. It's not well, it's normal because it's been normalized, but it's not proper.
Yes.
So I would say do some retrospect on, the emotional roller coasters. I'm pretty sure that all of those relationships, nine times out of 10 were. And because everyone isn't, I mean, the job, it's only Allah that can do all of this for us. So I can't leave him out. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to have to go to Allah.
Yes.
Point blank, period. Like,
Yeah.
within it, any and everything, it's going to be Allah.
Yes.
So after that self reflection, go to Allah. And
Yes.
within
Yes.
doing that self reflection, because the God within you, if you submit to the God within you, the God with outside of you, Master Muhammad, be like, hey, are you ready? And you're going to have to say yes, and you're going to have to commit. It's not, I didn't do one foot in, one foot out. And I think that's the difference. Once I
Yeah.
committed, I was sincere in my commitment. And
Mhm.
I think that has been my saving grace within my mindset
Mm.
because I wasn't on the fence. Or I kind of want to do it because I think it's time, or I kind of want to do it because I know like my soul ain't right, but da 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 da. Teetering, you can't serve two gods.
There you go. You go. Mm. You said it right there. You
Yeah.
can't serve two guys, and that's exactly, unfortunately, what a lot of people are doing unconsciously,
Mm-hmm.
and not knowing that. I can say myself that I didn't know that was what I was doing until I actually made a decision. Like, you know what, I'm just gonna just completely stop, having sex because at this point it's not getting me anywhere, and I can't say that I am committed to Allah. I can't say that I love Allah as much as I do if I am being disobedient for the most part. So I definitely love that.
Well, and I have to say
Yeah.
that I didn't actually see fornication as like a sin. Like all the sins that I was doing, drinking, smoking, fornicating,
Uh-huh.
I did all of that declaring my love for Allah
Mm.
because I knew that I love Allah so much that I truly did not see it as like, it's like, how can I love Allah so much? And because I don't know, when I say I really
Mhm.
didn't see it as a sin, I didn't. And so I believe that there's a lot more of those out there that are like, no, I love the Lord. I'm good smoking. He knows my heart. He knows
Yeah.
your heart, but he wants your actions to line up with your heart. So I'm going to eventually. And within the
Yes.
time that it is now, like on the
Mhm.
time scale, it's not going to be too much more of the Allah knows my heart. We just don't
Ooh.
have the time for that anymore. The time is gone. It's
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Either in or out.
Yeah.
Yes.
All praise due to Allah. We are striving to stay in. Making it. Are we in, Lord? We don't never know.
Yes, yes, yes. And if you all are enjoying this episode just as well as I am, please, please, please show your support by donating today to Cash App $ Healing with Angelica. I will also leave more info to donate on the screen below. I love you all. Now let's get back to today's amazing topic, the vow to chastity with Sister Maryam. Now, I know you just spoke on how honestly the only way that anyone that is going to make a decision to be chaste is to really confide in Allah. So I would like to know, how has your journey been since with Allah, God, since you chose to be chaste?
Hmm, that's a good question. How has my journey with Allah been since I chose to be chaste? Because I have, it's definitely, I feel the most connected to Allah than I've ever felt in my life.
Mm,
That's that's true. But when I spoke about the improper male and female relationships,
mhm.
I can see Allah holding back my greatest desire of being married. I've been trying to
That's
be married
all.
since I was 18 years old.
I'm waiting too, sis.
So he's like, because, and I know a part of it, the reason why it's been not gifted to me as of
Mhm.
yet was because within fornicating and even outside of being fornicating and being chaste, I still was putting man above before Allah. And he's
Mm,
like, no. So like
mhm.
you literally can still do that even without fornicating by developing feelings for someone, developing feelings for someone that you are not in a courtship with, and then doing things outside of your moral spectrum. It doesn't have to be physical, but just certain little things that you would not have normally done, but because you have the desire to want to be with this specific person,
Yeah.
you would do something to jeopardize your salvation. And you didn't,
Mm,
you may not have seen it that way
yeah.
until Allah totally pulls the rug from underneath you and said, look at yourself. And you're like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
after cleaning up, I'm still capable of doing things that I see as, ugh, like what? I I would have never thought that it was possible. It's almost, I don't want to give too great detail because there's no need. You know, Allah covers our sins for us. But I also want to give
Mhm.
justice to whoever sees this, because that's the point.
Yeah.
Allah blessed me with coming out of that situation unscathed. But so how can I put this? For any sister, because I want to take it to those that are striving. So I love our sisters that are lost found. We gonna get y'all regardless. We're coming for
Yes.
you. We're coming for you. But to those who, by Allah's grace, have maybe written their letter on the verge or what may have you, but are striving to submit their will to the will of Allah, be ever vigilant with protecting your mind and your spirit, and thinking that Allah is not going to bless you with that, with being a helpmeet when it's time. We are on Allah's time.
Mm.
It's such a struggle for Maryam to submit to Allah's time. I'm like, but Allah, I prayed and I asked you to be in my courtship December 2022. It's January 23. He's like, yeah. See, maybe you shouldn't have did
Yeah.
that. Maybe you should just continue to wait, because
Mm.
you will put yourself in a situation. Going to the Epic Mom event, I'm hearing sisters' stories that they were putting, again, their husbands before Allah. I I cannot afford to do that. Like, because I've done it all my entire life,
Yeah.
putting men before Allah. And I believe that we all have in some aspect. And he's like, again, we don't have time for that anymore. I need your, this is a law. I need your wombs. I need your wombs to bring forth the gods for righteousness. How can you bring forth gods for righteousness if your mind isn't focused on me? If you're going to get married and start doing things that are other than me, because you've now made that man that God besides Allah, I'll let you stay single. You better off being single. There is no menopause. That's a white woman's disease. So you may want to be 34, but you look like you're 23 and you're just fine. So you'll sit until you make me completely sufficient and stop putting people above me. It's me and it's me alone. And it's like, okay, Allah.
No.
All right, are we there yet? And that's what it is that we keep, we'll get to like, oh, okay, I'm cool. He's like, okay, well then just stay cool. Just stay. Everything's fine. There's no, he made a promise. He's not going to break his promise. No, you make your promise and be sincere in your promise and be steadfast. Make me sufficient. There's things, Dr. Ava said, there's things that Allah wants us to accomplish while we're single. And if you're not working, doing the things that you're supposed to accomplish while you're single and rushing to get married, those things for your nation are never going to get done. So I'm like, oh my God, I put off building a tiny house for 3 years. I was doing it on the bus. I had to sell my bus. And I kept saying, well, oh, if I finish this tiny house, like, what if my husband, what husband? You're not married. You're not married, Maryam. You have the desire to build the tiny house. Build the tiny house. You have the desire to do this. Go do that. Yeah. And as long as you keep putting it off to some, oh, my husband, when there's no husband, he's going to leave me sitting here. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to go to Savior's Day, have all of the beauty of Savior's Day.
Yes.
I'm going to be ghost because I got things to do in my single time. Because he's like, get it done or not? And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get it done. I'm about to just get everything done that I've been said so it can be done. Praise be to God. Forgive my ebonics.
Oh my God. Sister Maryam, I love that. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. And I love the fact that you just brought up. I'm sorry. I just love your personality. Like, you're so like you're so funny, and it is a good funny. Like, you're like an understandable funny. Like, I can like understand like exactly what you mean. Like, put myself in a situation like, but I want to be married. I want to be loved. I want my kids and my dog and my white picket fence. Where is it coming?
My tiny house. My 5 acres. Some chicken. Flowers are cool too. I like flowers. But you can hold the chop. Like, let's get some land.
I want to speak on, before we end today's show, I want to speak on just how, and I think this is important because this is probably something that I can say that I am adjusting to. How can us as women embrace our single time?
I just said it. I kind of like, he's gonna leave you single. We have our own desires, like as individual women. The thing is, if we don't fulfill those desires while we're single, we may become miserable and resentful in our marriage
Okay.
and motherhood. So although as much as I desire to be an at-home, stay-at-home wife, yada yada yada, I still have to continue to do the things that I said I was going to do before then, because they may not happen as quickly as I want them to once I
Mm-hmm.
start having more children, because I indeed want at the very least 3 more. I'm trying to do my part. I do desire for children, and children take time. Children are not, they take all of your time.
Yeah.
They never stop, and they never stop until they're out of your house, and that doesn't actually stop either, because they probably come back just like I went back.
Mm.
Embrace your single time. Like, find out who you are. I'm still learning all about me, growing to love me, and not seeing myself through someone else's eyes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I wonder if he, who? Oh, you talking about Allah? I hope you're talking about Allah. And that's a man. I wonder if he likes my, what? How do you like to present yourself? Do you like a draped scarf? Do you like your tam? Do you love your MGT garment? Dress for you. Learn to love your Islam for you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big thing, especially with women and young ladies within the nation. We're still focusing on him. It's not about him. I don't cover for him. I cover for me, and I cover for you. I cover for her, my daughter. I really cover for the women out besides Allah. Is
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, I'm doing it for us to be an example and love it. Like,
Yes.
love it. I actually don't like not having my draped scarf on, because then they don't know I'm a Muslim. When you
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that dream I had, don't you see I'm striving to be a woman of Allah? I will murder you. I will murder you if you disrespect me in my dream or in my life when you see me covered. It gives you, I don't know what it is. Is it, are they wings? I don't know if it's a shield. It really is. And I think that,
Wow.
I mean, I was kind of raised to be fearless, but it's even more so knowing that Allah is backing me when I'm striving to be righteous.
Mm.
Take the devil head off. So learn to love and figure out who you are. I'm still not finished learning who I am, which is why
Yes.
probably I'm still single. I can only bear witness to the truth of that, because, like I said,
Yes.
like, we're going on 5 years in on being chaste, on
Mm.
not
Yes.
smoking, not drinking. So with seeing my sister friends turning their lives around within the first year they married, I'm like, God dang, a lot. What am I missing? What am I doing wrong? Oh, you're not
Mm-hmm.
putting Allah first. You're not learning to love you. I need love you.
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest thing when you're trying to figure out who you are to love you,
Mm-hmm.
because there's parts of you that you don't lack. So those are the parts that you need to grow and change and say, oh, but I love this part of me. This is a good part.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
that's my
Yeah.
advice to self and to others. And inshallah, one of the things I will complete this year is a 7-song EP, and one of the songs is called Fall in Love, and that song is about falling in love with self. Like, I
Mm.
literally want to just fall in love with me, to where when Allah does bless me with to be a helpmeet, that I don't lose me. I do not want to lose me, bro. Like, I do love me. I like me. I don't want to put all of me into someone else and then my mind is gone. Help him be his
Ooh.
best self, but you still have desires. Fulfill those too. So that,
Mm. Oh my gosh. I love that. I cannot wait to hear it.
I'll bring it to you. There's a
Yeah,
little
oh my
snippet
gosh.
on Instagram.
Okay. Yes. I'm
Mhm.
gonna listen to it. I haven't really been on IG like that. I
I'm gonna
guess
send it
I'm
to
a
you. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna DM it.
okay, send it to me.
It's
Well,
rough.
I'm like
I like it.
well, yes, Sister Maryam. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining me today on this well needed topic, the vow to chastity. I would also like to thank my amazing audience and healing tribe for joining me today. I pray today's episode was informative, healing, and valuable to you all. Also, be sure to give us your feedback, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new episodes on any of your favorite podcast stations. Closing the Gap Broadcast Network on Facebook and YouTube, and or on my Facebook and YouTube channel, Healing with Angelica, to help spread healing to those that are in need. Also, if you are ready to start your healing journey, my ebook, Heal Yourself, is just for you, as this ebook breaks down the steps you should take to start your healing journey to become your best self. To purchase your ebook today, be sure to check in today's show notes, in which will also include information for today's amazing guest, Sister Maryam. Sister Maryam, I know you kind of already left us off with a banger, but before we end today's show, do you have any other
I
closing
did.
remarks
All
for
right,
our
I'm so
audience?
crazy. You told all you asked because I did. I did.
Yay!
I did. I
Okay.
just wanted to say to the men and the women that it doesn't matter where you are in your journey of living or not living life, wilding out here in these streets. I lived a very, very tumultuous, wild and outside life, and Allah brought me out of it because I
Mm,
asked Him to. So all you have to do is call, and He will answer. That's it. Just call.
mm. Ooh, Lord, and I bear witness to that. I bear witness. I bear witness. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Sister Marianne, again
Thank
for
you.
joining me. And thank you so much for my healing tribe. I love you all, and we leave you guys as we came. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and
Welcome.
healing.